Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. Hey guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with a crypto market analysis. Today I'm going to be talking about alt season, and if this is alt season, what's my next projection for the next few weeks or months, and just kind of some alts that I'm looking at. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not an expert. Do your own research. I'll just get straight to it. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart inverted. So typically when you see Bitcoin dominance, you want that number to go down because that is the total share that Bitcoin has relative to the rest of the market. And so when you see Bitcoin dominance going down, you see the altcoins having a higher value relative to Bitcoin for the entire crypto market. And this is the inverted chart, so it's a little bit more, it's a little bit easier to understand. So when you see this number go up, it basically means that altcoins are going up in value relative to Bitcoin. So as I have here with my notes, you see this market cycle the last few years where we see a big pump in January and December for altcoins, and then you see a 1 month retrace, February to March or so, one springtime pump from April to May, or sometimes, February or March. It just kind of depends on the year. And then you see summer dumping in 2018 and 2019, and in 2020 you saw decentralized finance summer for altcoins, which was something that was an anomaly from the previous 2 years. And but then altcoins really dumped hard in the fall of 2020. So what am I looking at now? I believe that alt season is here. The time to accumulate your altcoins was in March and February, depending on the altcoin, of course. And even during this time period of February and March, I mean, there were still many altcoins that really pumped hard. The SBF SAM coins pumped really hard in March, and the other coins like ZIL and THETA also pumped hard in February and March as well. But I think we are about to experience the second decentralized finance run here, where many DeFi coins are going to run very hard. Those are the coins that I'm personally targeting for this next run. And as you can see here, in my opinion, we are about to enter the second wave here, and we are going to see a few strong weeks of bullish moves, in my opinion. And yeah, that's kind of like my overall thesis, and it's the same thesis that I've had over the entire year of 2021. If you look at some of my old videos, I pretty much thought that this market cycle would play out, and it looks like it is for now. Now, with that said, I do not know what is going to happen after the run happens in May. I think this run will happen over the next 4 to 8, potentially 12 weeks. But after that, if you look historically speaking over the last few years, this lasts a few weeks, and we might see a pullback, kind of like we saw in 2020, and then further moves. Or we might just see massive dumping. I'm honestly not sure what to expect with altcoins. I think it's going to depend a lot on Bitcoin and what Bitcoin does. When Bitcoin runs really hard, it becomes kind of a liquidity black hole where it takes a lot of the money from altcoins in general. And altcoins really thrive when Bitcoin is in a ranging environment. So overall, I do believe that this is going to go higher over the next few weeks. After that period, I honestly have no idea. And people say, oh, you can't compare 2018 and 2019 because that was a bear market. 2020 was a bull market, and it did pump hard in the summer. But, altcoins still died off very strongly in the fall of 2020. And fall of 2020 was really not that long ago. So it's something to really understand that altcoins will pull back. I don't know when or where. I do believe strongly that altcoins are going to pull back. Again, to the degree that it'll pull back, I have no idea. I do think this could go quite a bit higher. Altcoins can. I mean, the market, overall market, is much different than it was in 2018 and 2019. But let's just see. I guess, for now, I'm going to play this level. I believe the next few weeks will be very bullish for alt USD and alt BTC. And I'm really targeting a lot of the decentralized finance coins. So let's just briefly look at Bitcoin. I'm not going to spend very much time at all. I do believe that altcoins really, total market-wise, they perform best when Bitcoin is kind of in a consolidation area, kind of like we saw in January. That was the last time where we saw the entire altcoin market just collectively pump. February and March, there were many altcoins that did pump, but you had to be selective with them. So for instance, like as I said, THETA, ZIL, a lot of the FTT, Solana, like SRM, those types of coins pumped in March. It just kind of depends on, what sector was pumping. And I believe that we are about to kind of see a consolidation period where Bitcoin will strongly move up. So I actually wouldn't be surprised to see alt BTC pairs go down in the short term. But I think Bitcoin will make maybe one more leg up and then start its consolidation period after that. So that's kind of what I'm targeting for the next bit. I still don't know if we're necessarily out of the woods yet for alt BTC pairs, mainly because Bitcoin still, I'm not so sure if it's, done with its run currently. I mean, it ranged over a few months period here without relatively big moves, but maybe it just consolidates. Maybe it just goes like this. Like maybe you just see Bitcoin just ping pong over the next few weeks or months, and that's certainly possible. Where Bitcoin just ranges and then continues higher after it consolidates, and during its consolidation period, it will altcoins will run. That's certainly possible. But given it consolidated already for a few months, I think that another leg up to like 70-something thousand seems pretty likely. But and if it happens like that, I expect alt BTC pairs to actually not do so great in the short term. But I do believe that alt BTC pairs will do strongly over the coming weeks after this big move. So let's look here briefly at ETH BTC. Again, similar to the market cycles chart I just posted for the Bitcoin dominance, the inverted chart. This is the ETH BTC chart. And again, you can kind of see the same things where we saw the greatest alt season of all time, in January of 2018. Big dumps for a month, big pump in the summer, and then another dump in big pump in the spring, and then a big dump in the summer. And we saw this happen over 2018 and 2019. 2020, again, was a little different because of decentralized finance summer. I mean, you saw this big move up in the summer of 2020, and now we are entering this springtime period where we are going to see some pumps. So again, similar to, I don't know if this is going to be like 2018 or 2019, or if it's going to be like 2020. It's really hard to say what is going to happen. I'm going to be looking when it starts to pull back a little bit and the strength of the pullback. So similar how we saw in 2020 with May, we saw a few pullbacks. I thought that was it. I was wrong. I was a little bit late to the train, or late to the party. I didn't really start buying many more alts until like later July. And, I think early to July, I didn't really experience this first big move. But I do think that there is more upside for ETH BTC in the short term. Whether or not this goes like 2020 or 2018 and 2019, I do not know. I do feel that this is going to have a few weeks of pumping, though. We saw the same kind of price action that we saw before, where we saw pullback for about a 1 month period from February all the way to, almost 2 months, February, March, and pretty much, and February and then March. Yep. So about 2 months basically, and then now we are going to see a strong move up. I think that this moves up higher. Where it goes, I'm not sure. I think 055 is kind of the area that I really always targeted for this one. I mean, if you look from just a simple SR chart here, this 055 region really looks and just makes sense to me. I think that this just hits this, and then after that, I don't really know. I mean, it certainly could go higher. It certainly could go 0.083. You know, there's some other levels as well, just from an SR perspective, such as 072. You know, that's kind of like another area of interest, but I do think it makes it up to 055. That's kind of like the area I've always been viewing. And when ETH BTC does well, it's a good indicator for the entire altcoin market. So when ETH BTC does well, this is like, you know, it's good to buy altcoins, or like it's good to start accumulating altcoins if you think that ETH BTC is making another leg up, which in my opinion it is. And you could even argue, I know some people have some charts as well where you can make the argument that ETH BTC was in this entire range for several years, all the way since September of 2018. And there's really, I mean, I've had this chart out too, where you can maybe make this argument, and it's totally viable in my opinion. Like, I mean, larger market caps usually need more time to accumulate, and ETH is obviously the number 2. So maybe it's about to have its big run where it just starts to go hard. That's certainly possible. 055 is like my first level up in my opinion, and after that, who knows? I mean, it certainly could go higher. There's no mistaking that. So as I said before, I am really targeting a lot of the decentralized finance coins. Coins like Alpha, and again, I am invested in Alpha, so you know, maybe I'm totally biased, but we saw Alpha have a massive run up all throughout January, big downtrend in all of February, and now it's spent all of March ranging. It's done this large accumulation period. I personally think that Alpha will have another leg up, and I'm looking at a lot of these other decentralized finance coins to really move very strongly. Alpha, AAVE, REN, Compound, YFI, all those coins are about to have its second run in my opinion. So this is a chart of AAVE here. We saw a big run up all in January, big move down in February, accumulation in March. A lot of these coins have the same type of price action where you see a big run up in January, big downtrend in February, and then it's a ranging price action all throughout March. And now they're moving. So like a coin like Band, for instance, here's a good example right here. So remember, big move up in January, strong move down in February, which is what happened, and then accumulation all in March, and now it's moving higher. And don't fade the volume either. This volume is really strong. So you know, I wouldn't personally look to start shorting quite yet. I mean, shorting will be a good play for scalps, but like the overall trend at this point is bullish. So this is kind of the prototypical price action that I'm looking for a lot of these coins. And you're going to be looking for coins that start to lead. So like Band could lead the price action for coins that have the same similar pattern. So as I said, Band, AAVE, Alpha, all these types of coins really kind of have this same pattern. And it's really also very important to understand and distinguish the different types of accumulation patterns that each coin has for continuation or if it's going to pull back. So for instance, we take a look at THETA. THETA is one of my favorite coins to look at in terms of bullish accumulation. So what we're seeing for THETA was big run up in December, accumulation period in January, and notice how this accumulation period is much different than what we saw for Alpha. You know, I mean, it didn't go as strong. This move was from 75 to 250, certainly a strong move, but it wasn't as strong as what Alpha did. And because it wasn't as strong, we saw a bullish accumulation period for another run. So We're for a coin like Theta, you see run, accumulation, run, accumulation, run. Whereas you see coins like Alpha and AAVE, they go super run, just straight vertical. Big downtrend, big accumulation period, and now another leg. Versus a coin like Theta, which has strong run, but not as strong as like Theta or Alpha and AAVE, but it has these accumulation periods where price doesn't really dump like it did for AAVE and Alpha. Like Alpha and AAVE both dumped quite a bit. These coins like Theta just have these small bullish accumulation periods where price consolidates for a little bit and then it just runs. So you can kind of see these consolidation periods all throughout. And now it's at this point, it looks like it's about to enter its consolidation period again. So as other coins start to run, I actually don't think that Theta will be a great choice in the short term, just because it had this strong run recently while many other altcoins are pulling back or consolidating. So now my plan for something like Theta is to just go ahead and trade the trending coins like AAVE right now are banned. And then I am expecting to, when those other ones start to pull back, that's when I'm going to hop back in Theta. Because this one is probably still probably has more room to run. So in summation, I believe that decentralized finance, AAVE, Alpha, Comp, Ren, Curve, all these types of coins, like these are the coins to look for. I mean, this this is a different type of consolidation period than something like AAVE. It had a big run up and then it had a big pullback all throughout March, and now it's moving again. But some of the sellers around this area, these guys are all getting tapped over and over. And as I always say, support and resistance gets weaker and weaker the more times it's tapped. So I think it's only a matter of time before something like Comp breaks out to the upside. And there's good volume still coming in as well. So these are the coins that I'm really viewing right now, are decentralized finance coins, the ones that really pulled back hard. Coins like SNX, Ren, those coins are not really moving super hard right now. Alpha compared to like some of these other ones. So those might be good ones to target for the next few weeks. I'm personally also not going to be looking at Serum or Solana and FTC as much, because these coins really ran very strongly all throughout March. I mean, if you look at March, this one really ran hard. So I'm more looking at the coins that pulled back quite a bit. But like I think those have like more higher upside in the short term. But Solana, FTT, these are all going to move probably as well. They just won't move. In my opinion, I don't think they move as hard as the ones that pulled back, like AAVE. For instance, I think this is going to be very strong. So let's just see. So as I said, those decentralized finance coins are the ones that I'm targeting. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Any support, such as likes or subscribes, are greatly appreciated. Good luck.